This is a touchy topic today. When you're healing the mother wound, you might need to take space from your mom. This may mean having no contact with your mom or a period of less contact. It is a broad spectrum. The point is to have less external pressure so you can focus on your internal healing. Some people go no contact indefinitely, while others don't do it at all. It really depends on your situation and your specific needs. Now, not everybody needs to go no contact, but if you're feeling incredibly anxious, depressed, and stressed out, if you're overwhelmed and you don't even know where to begin healing and you keep getting this influx of stress from your mom, it might be a thing to consider. Space can really help while you build a stronger sense of self. When you have a healthy relationship with yourself, you're more likely to build healthy relationships with others, including your mom. Whatever potential that relationship has, it is going to be matched more easily by you elevating yourself, you healing your stuff, and you understanding where to draw the line and where to have fluidity. When we're healing traumas from our childhoods, our teens, our early 20s, even just what happened yesterday, it can be really helpful to reduce our stress in that period. We just don't have the resilience that we normally do when we're not touching the wound. Eventually, the more that we actually address our trauma, the more that we build the skills to show up for ourselves, to feel our feelings, and then to transform our feelings, to transform our narratives, to transform the pain into life lessons and an inner sense of self-trust. As we do that, we turn into a totally different version of ourselves that has more resiliency, that can deal with daily stresses, that can deal with people that are going through their own growth that is challenging. And we can more consciously and logically make these decisions about who gets to be a part of our lives, who doesn't, and to what degree. I want you to imagine for a minute how difficult it would be to heal a broken foot when you have someone in your life who does what your mom does. Maybe she tells you there's nothing wrong with your foot, you're overreacting. Or she asks you to run errands for her when you need to be resting. Maybe she finds a way to criticize almost everything, from the size of the cast to the color of your cast. Maybe she blames you for getting injured in the first place, like you're so clumsy, or you did this to yourself, or why didn't you just listen to me? I knew this would happen. Realistically, with someone like this in your life while you're trying to heal an injury, how much longer and more painful would the whole process be for you? It's very similar when we're healing emotional injuries, post-traumatic stress, and deep, deep memories that live in the body and the mind. Now, if the very thought of taking space feels overwhelming, wrong, or like it puts you at risk of being seen as a bad person, just take a breath with me. All right, feel that out, let that out. Just know this is completely optional. You do not have to do this ever in your entire life in order to heal. For some people, it is a game changer. For others, it's really not necessary. And if you do choose this potential option one day, just know it also doesn't have to be forever. It can be temporary. For me personally, when I was healing the mother wound at the depths, at the crux of the most painful parts of it, I took 3 months of intentional no contact from my mom so that I could focus on my healing. I was going through a healing program. I had allotted myself that 3 months, and I knew that any more stuff coming into my life, any more asking for help from my mom, any more things that could stress me out or trigger me, I just did not have the capacity to deal with. I didn't have the skills to still hang on to myself on a daily basis without getting trailed back into my patterns of being an over-functioning daughter, of being an overgiver, of being a caretaker, of feeling guilty and shameful for a whole host of things. So for me, it really was incredibly challenging to do that. This doesn't necessarily mean that it's easy from there, but it means it's more doable for some people. And for me, that was certainly the case, as challenging and heartbreaking as it was simultaneously. Now remember, relationships are a two-way exchange. So what you are doing is building your capacity to be a solid part of that mother-daughter or mother-son relationship. If you don't do your own healing and you're waiting for your mom to change, that's kind of a double standard when we really, really get honest with ourselves. Even though our parent would have taught us some very valuable life skills earlier in life, had they done their own healing, they might not have passed on these traumas inside of us, at least not to this degree. There is a flexibility that we need to have with ourselves as we're healing. We need to come to terms with things, and we need to be willing to do the uncomfortable stuff. Sometimes the uncomfortable thing is to stay in contact. Sometimes the uncomfortable thing is to go no contact. What ends up being triggering for a lot of people, especially parents, is that there's the belief that their kids should always maintain their relationship with them, no matter how they behave. Like, there's no accountability, there's no consequence for being, say, a hypercritical parent, or someone that's overly involved, or someone that leans on their kid in a way that is beyond their capacity to actually show up for them. And I really feel that the future hope of our relationships within families really rests on each person taking care of their internal stuff, and that being reflected in their external behavior. This goes for adult children, and this goes for parents. So I want to congratulate you for showing up here today, for being curious, and for also taking your healing into your hands even just one little step further. So let me know in the comments below, what are you feeling about no contact? Do you feel like it's a good idea? Do you feel uncomfortable with it? Do you think it's a maybe and you're just not there yet? Everything is okay. Everybody's specific path is different, and you can heal. I mean, seriously, no matter how hopeless you might feel, I have been there many times, many, many, many times. You can do it. You absolutely can do it. Even if you don't see the light at the end of the tunnel yet, you don't have a roadmap to get there, that's okay. There is a way to get there. I help people heal the mother wound. If you're interested in that, contact me in the link below. Keep healing and keep feeling, because you matter. And trust me, life gets better from here. I'm Lori Desjardins. I'll catch you in the next episode of Healing with Lori.